Alrighty, well, we are on to the Rift for what could be the third and final game of this best of 5. FlyQuest had a rough fight of a first game win, but an absolute slaughter of game 2. Golden Guardians chose red. They've got a completely new looking team composition, including Golden Glue playing Silas here in the mid lane, as they are going to walk by a ward of this invade, and Ignar can very cleanly walk away from it.
All right, it is also Hail of Blades on the Pyke here, which I've been seeing a lot more of recently. You know, it kind of allows Pyke to have the ability when you hook someone in or when you stun them to get these kind of 3 quick autos out to have more upfront damage to be able to try to get someone into execute range and threaten that full all in. But Turtle, you're gonna have to flash.
They found that first stun. They need to land one more auto. They flash to make it happen. That should be first blood. Yes, it's taken. FBI grabs 400 gold.
That was pretty sloppy from Turtle. They knew they were there, and he just kind of wandered up. Anytime you have Braum in these level 1 invades, you've got to respect the Q. If Braum Q hits and that passive stun gets procced as it did, you are going to go down. And Turtle was unable to flash the Braum Q, unable to flash the Stylus stun, just really way too late on the summoner usage, and as a result, that's first blood not only given over to Golden Guardians, but given over to FBI.
Yeah, hugely important right here. We saw a level 1, level 2 dive to the bottom side when Santorin ganked in, and that just completely shook up that 2-on-2 down there. This time around, though, it's got to feel a lot more comfortable. Now, to be fair, FBI is also flashless, so summoner count is identical on this side of the map, and that first blood gold was not cashed in. So bot lane right now is identical.
Yeah, so here it is. He gets slowed up by the E, then tagged by the Braum Q, then tagged by Golden Glue's stun, and Golden Glue flashes in for that auto to proc that Braum stun, allowing the rest of the team to actually flash in and finish that up. Very nicely done. Huhi here now looking to set this up. They're pretty close to the tower, but remember, there is no flash available, and it will just
slow
get damage.
Yeah, just a little bit done right there. For now, Santorin is farming heavier. He's stolen the red buff, he's stole the chickens, and he's going to be stealing away the Krugs up there. Ignar going to be losing a lot of health, can't find the axe backwards, and this FlyQuest bot lane is in a pretty big world of hurt. They've got Ignar's flash and ignite, but Turtle's TP does nothing. This should turn into a double kill if they play it correctly. There's the exhaust. Turtle cannot walk away. The shield comes up for Huhi. Easy first blood, but Closer will have to flash to leave turret range. Stays alive. Ignar left alone in the lane. Turtle can TP back to the lane, and he can cash in on the wave. Thankfully for him, it's a cannon minion, so it tanks a bunch of turret shots, and he won't lose too much.
He didn't even lose the cannon. They actually were able to get the Targons just as the TP did complete, so nicely done there, but still, all credit deserved here by Golden Guardians. A really great start. Turtle makes the initial mistake, giving over first blood, being down that summoner, and then they realize, hey, we can actually just dive this. And despite the fact that Closer was spotted out, Ignar was not able to get to level 2 prior to that dive coming in. He was chunked very low, so he couldn't do a lot to support Turtle, and Turtle, without that flash, doesn't have another defensive summoner. They have no heal down there. They have no exhaust down there. So it's easy to get that damage down and take him out. And now, you know, no flash, no TP. His base only netted him a fairy charm, right? Like he didn't have anything.
Ooh, bit of danger. Huhi thankfully has the shield still and tries to keep the wave away from the turret, you know, kind of delay how quickly it's going to kill that down. But ultimately, at the end of the day, Closer says, nah, you know what, I'm going to take the farm. This is all my gold. Grabs pretty much all of it, only loses a single caster minion. And we get the reset coming through. Berserker's Greaves done for FBI, only a fairy charm for Wild Turtle. So equal CS technically, but the kill, the assist, and the better recall timing means FBI is far stronger in the lane.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when you have the, you know, 125 gold fairy charm versus an 1100 gold Berserker Greaves, and that's your first buy. So pretty rough stuff there for Turtle, but we'll see if he can actually just kind of scale it out. You know, thankfully he is on a champion that has a very good wave clear and can play, you know, fairly defensively. He is going to go back and just grab a mana crystal and boots. You know, was able to push it in, so not going to be as bad of a spot as he previously was. And meanwhile, top lane, mid lane, both going great. Yes, there is quite a bit of farm for Haunter to pick up, so we'll have to kind of wait and see exactly how ahead Solo is. But 38 CS to 21 temporarily is a monstrous lead for GP. He gets the first base on his Sheen, which is really such a nice scenario as a GP. Anytime you are playing that, that is kind of what you're dreaming about. And also, PoE, you know, is going to have some minions pick up and be a little bit ahead there too.
Attempts to find the stun, and Ignar can't find that one. Now a re-engage the bottom side. The shield is up, but it's going to be enough damage. You have to believe Closer cannot survive it. Ignar just limps away as well. Huhi pushed off as well. And look at that. FlyQuest completely winning that mid lane fight. Not a problem at all. 1-for-0.
Yeah, 4 men mid there for FlyQuest. We didn't see FBI make that roam, so they had the extra member show up and were able to get that kill. Ignar barely surviving, and now can look to actually threaten again here as Turtle even gets back to bot lane to pick up the wave. So he really didn't lose much of anything, maybe a minion or two on that initial push, but Turtle's going to be really happy about that roam. And these last couple of minutes here, despite a really poor start, is FlyQuest again battling back and showing their superior laning in the solo lanes.
Beautifully done right now. You're looking at another snapshot top side, though. It is 46-39, but that is with Solo taking a recall and walking all the way back in. That said, Golden Guardian's comfortable enough down here. Golden Glue grabs the Pike ulti, but can't find a way in as PoE roots in. Still, it will be Cloud Drake picked up, and Golden Guardians grab first Drake for the first time of the series. That is something on the board for them. Claimed pretty conveniently, and they still sit at a 400 gold lead. If there is a game the Golden Guardians wins, this is starting out like one.
It really is. This is by far their best start that they have had, you know, looking pretty good in these early minutes. Grabbing the dragon going to be nice. And we will see how Haunter does fare going forward here against Solo. Haunter with the early tabbies going fairly defensively. Makes a lot of sense when you are up against not only the GP but also the Pantheon who can come in there. It's going to make things, you know, more difficult for them to be able to force taking him down. But at the same time, anytime you're stacking too much armor, there's the possibility of swapping things over, you know, putting PoE in that side lane against Haunter where maybe he can take advantage of that.
Alrighty, well, Chicken Clamp cleared out. Closer is a couple of camps ahead. He's also managed to gank a little bit more than his opponent has. But some of that is, of course, that easy first blood at level 1. Closer playing defensively on his side of the map. There's with a control ward. No one here to defend against him. He's going to be fine just to get rid of that vision and keep the farm going. But there is a trinket ward that's going to spot him doing Krugs. So his location very well known by FlyQuest here. As the top laners trade blows back and forth, Solo knows that Olaf is somewhat nearby and may have to be respectful of that gank path.
Yeah, so basically what Solo wants to do is thin out the wave enough so that it doesn't just straight up crash on his turret without killing so many minions that it's going to push away from him. Because keeping the wave right about where it is now is pretty much as safe as you can be on GP. It means that Olaf really has no option except a full-on committed like turret dive style gank. And you know, you're not going to really be in much danger. So it kind of puts Haunter in this awkward situation.
Once again, looking around at the mid lane, as it is a farm lead for Power of Evil. Ignar lurking around as well. Location relatively known. Golden Glue gets the sound effects to know that, you know, someone is stealth nearby. It's okay, he's probably back to the bottom side. Who he gonna get pulled in? Is there much of a gank? A little bit. Puts up the shield, and now Golden Glue is right back there to look for something else to do. And no ulti to steal just yet. It's almost back from cooldown, but gets rid of a ward. As FlyQuest trade it back and clears out this mid lane. Golden Glue and the rest of the squad has roamed up. They have pushed in the mid wave. They are once again going for first herald. Across pretty much all the games so far, Golden Guardians have gotten every single first herald. They have absolutely rushed this objective, and they've been good at controlling it. And they've gotten decent rewards out of it. But FlyQuest's answer is simply to keep Wildcard bot lane. He will get one turret plate for free. He will deny a minion wave down here as well, and probably get plate number 2. And if the herald doesn't get more than 2 plates, this is a good choice. This is a good choice for FlyQuest.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to depend on, right? You know, how much can you get out of it? Sometimes you can get a kill into a herald, and then you not only get a full turret, but potentially, you know, get a charge on a second turret, and then things can become really good. But FlyQuest has already gotten those 2 turrets on bot side. It's a lot of farm denied, and Santorin is looking to take away this blue buff in the meantime. But Golden Guardians are moving back towards this bottom side, and FlyQuest are going to have to be a little bit careful about this as Closer and Huhi working their way over here to support Golden Glue.
All right, almost the third plate taken bottom side. If no one defends this, it's basically one more wave to cash in on that third plate. We'll see Wild Turtle play it defensively, though. He won't do any more than that. So for now, it is just the 2 plates dropping, but that's still, that is turret pressure, right? That's health on a turret that's not ever coming back. That is gold that is still earned. And again, the question does come down to, does Golden Guardians get as much back for their Herald play? I think it's likely to be yes. It's likely to be pretty good, but we got to wait and see it happen.
Yep, have to see if they're going to be able to pull that off. Also, want to track Santorin and his first ultimate on this Pantheon. This is a champion that you really do want to kind of snowball on. You need to be able to be aggressive early on, make things happen, and that first ultimate, is kind of key part of doing that. If you can get out to a side lane, if you can get, GP further ahead, perhaps look for a 3-man play alongside Gangplank towards this Aatrox, that could mean some really good things happening here for FlyQuest. Is if Aatrox falls behind GP, it can get pretty rough, because GP is going to outscale, GP is going to have a lot of use. Even if you're just kind of parked in a side lane farming, you can continually throw your ultimate towards the 4-man squad and kind of have this like 4.5 v4 with the GP ultimate helping out on the other side of the map.
Well, here comes the pressure to the mid lane. They have not yet knocked down the first turret plate, so Shelly will charge in. They will earn some money here, but it'll still only be the first 2 plates crashing. They can't even get number 3 on that sliver of health. So far, Herald has gone equal to what FlyQuest's answer was, which was just leaving Syndra down to the bottom 5. But they find the root, they find the stun, they find a ton of crowd control, and Wild Turtle unable to flash away from the Varus ulti. Teleport burned by Golden Glue, but doesn't find anything for it. However, it still means map control. Golden Guardians, they're going to find a stun into Ignar. They can find a lot here. You can't quite get the rest of the CC. We're waiting to, X mark to spot something else, but it should still mean the Drake goes over. Golden Guardians retain their gold lead, and they should claim the second Drake as well.
And nicely done by Golden Guardians. Again, punishing Turtle, unable, as you say, to flash that ultimate. And without that 5th member, it meant, well, FlyQuest just decided we're not even going to try to actually contest this. Santorin immediately went, started farming the wolves. Solo just continued to push. They decided to give that up, and they will look to challenge for some of those later dragons. But, Turtle has not been on point with the summoner usage early on in this game. A couple mistakes already, and the Herald was okay, as you say, gets 2 plates. The initial play here, they are spotting them out. It's a good scout of the week that does land, but that is a max range Varus ultimate there that you would expect Turtle to normally be able to flash very comfortably. Not able to do so though in this case, and it does get knocked down pretty easily, which meant a free dragon for Golden Guardians.
Okay, once again, look at the game state. 400 gold difference, but up 2 Drakes. This feels like Golden Guardians leading, but based on the way I've been seeing these mid games go, I'm not able to really convincingly say that it feels like they're ahead, because we've seen better choices out of FlyQuest. Even you look at their season overall, FlyQuest tended to have slightly weak early games, but would come back to it anyway with a better overall game record than Golden Guardians. So they are poised for comebacks in general. I know, talking to or hearing from some of their coaches before, one of the big win conditions was just don't tilt early, and you'll come back and win anyway. As long as FlyQuest aren't tilting off of this small deficit, the gold is now equal again. As long as they're in clear spirits, they should be good here.
I don't think they would be tilted by this at all, honestly. Maybe Turtle a little bit would be frustrated with himself, but this is a situation where things are still going well elsewhere on the map. If all lanes are losing and all lanes are falling apart, then maybe you're gonna fall prey to a little bit of that tilt. But you can see 700-800 gold ahead is Power of Evil over Golden Glue. Top lane is looking great. I mean, Solo got his Triforce at like 1230, which is very fast. He had really good farm up on that GP, and once you have that Triforce, you're pretty much unassailable at the turret, because you can one-shot the caster minions, and it becomes very, very easy to just wave clear out your tower forever and never be pressured really by that Aatrox again.
FBI is now poised to just sit in the mid lane against Wild Turtle. Neither one has defensive options against each other aside from the movement speed. It's a pretty lethal matchup if it does come to blows, but it's just wave clear back and forth. The threat of a jungler showing up means no one's going to push up too far. But Golden Guardians are somewhat controlling this bottom river right now. Herald is spawning in a minute, but they would rather play for this bottom turret itself, and well, PoE pretty comfortably still clearing the minions away. Ignar will be slowed, but can always jump over wall if needed, and so that means Golden Guardians won't actually push too much in for it.
Yeah, Ignar very cognizant of the fact that Golden Guardians could have actually been camping out in that Tri-Brush, and he was really hesitant to approach it, and did end up spotting that they were in there with the sweeper and the pink ward, and was able to kind of back it up pretty safely. We can see though TP right back down the bot lane rather for Power of Evil, and immediately when they see that TP, Closer heads straight back down. So Closer hoping that Power of Evil will get aggressive here on Golden Glue, but if he doesn't, there's not really a lot of opportunities. Pretty much he has to use his ult, right? Like if you use that and Distort, then Olaf can go in, but barring that, I think it's pretty much not going to happen for them.
Yeah, hard to chase down the LeBlanc when all you can do is run on your two legs and she can just hop over walls and stuff. So, yeah, not really worth the effort. Power of Evil still feeling very comfortable against Golden Glue. Actually burns the flash, but Pantheon is here anyway, and Golden Glue has been melted down. FlyQuest easily taking another kill on the sideline.
Really nice setup there from PoE. It's the 2 chains coming out of the LeBlanc. He hit him with the chains, and then alt chains again to follow it up to lock him down despite the flash for so long that Santorin could get in. Golden Guardians, though, good punch back here. Should be able to get this mid lane
really good
turret.
stun as well.
Oh, they can't even get it.
No, see, FBI, because he E'd the Syndra, so he pulled turret aggro right as she stunned him, so he took 3 turret shots, said, you know what, I'm not willing to risk taking a 4th, we have to fall back, and that is his eyes getting a little bit too big for the game state. FBI did not need to harass and pull the aggro. He thought he could get away with it.
Yeah.
That was not correct.
Could be one of those things where you're looking for the optimization. A lot of times with lethal tempo, you like to throw out one spell to poke and proc lethal tempo, and then utilize that extra attack speed to knock down a turret even faster.
Right.
So I think that's what he was looking for, but it was just really good timing on the scatter by Turtle, and it kind of just worked out in FlyQuest's favor to barely keep that tower alive.
Well, you expect it to drop before too long. Golden Guardians down 1,300 gold. FlyQuest continue to use Power of Evil so menacingly well. Back in Game 1, he more than doubled the worldwide average for damage per minute on a Syndra, on a LeBlanc, and went really well in the casting in Game 2 as well. Poised to do more carrying here in the 3rd game on LeBlanc yet again. Golden Glue gonna once again go for the Pike ulti. They're once again going to go for Drake number 3. Is Santorin willing to flash for a Smite steal? This is going to be the Drake dropping very, very low. PoE over the wall. And would you believe it? Wild Turtle claims the objective. Ignar cannot find the assassination, but Golden Glue is at 5 health. And double kill comes in for LeBlanc yet again. PoE already up to 2 kills. FBI running for his life. He's going to be chained up. He's rooted in place. And Santorin is chasing, but not fast enough to get that kill. Regardless, FlyQuest 2 for 0 plus the Drake.
All right, you want to talk about a team being tilted. How tilting is that? You're up 2 dragons, and Power of Evil might even get FBI, forces out the heal. It will back off, but Ignar is there. He can get him.
He's dead. He's dead. The flash follow. 350 gold in his pockets. Ignar feeling comfortable here as mid lane's being attacked, and no one is here to defend it.
Oh man, I feel so bad for Golden Guardians. Everything just went wrong for them there. Turtle stealing away that dragon, but it's not with the Jinx rocket. It's with Syndra. It's with the Syndra Q. Combo coming over the wall, stealing that away. Neither jungler even used Smite, so the Smite was not even able to come down here from closer. Let's watch it one more time. Power of Evil goes in, they spike it down, and it's just, yeah, it just gets comboed by Turtle over the wall. And then Power of Evil sees the opportunity, flashes in, knocks 2 down. The long chase continues. Closer does get out, but FBI, as we do know, eventually got chased down and killed. But, I mean, this is huge because FlyQuest was already winning in the solo lanes. The big advantage that Golden Guardians had was really stacking these dragons. And that was supposed to be their 3rd Drake. They had the proper setup. They had the jungler in the pit. And if you have 3 dragons, you're 1 off Ocean Soul, you're feeling like, hey, we can still win this. Some things are going bad, but Ocean Soul can turn it around for us. And losing that, not even just to a Smite steal, but to a Syndra combo, that is backbreaking. And honestly, I think it's going to be pretty hard to come back from as you're falling behind further and further in the gold lead and no longer close to that soul point.
Well, we are close to one thing, though, and it's the end of the Golden Guardians spring split. They snuck into playoffs just barely as 6th seed, tiebreaker day about a week ago, and they made it work. It was a great surge. They were in 9th. They made it up, and hey, well done to them. They actually celebrated. Hey, we made it to playoffs. They celebrated being the middle team in the split. At the end of the day, it looks like they are not going any farther than that one. This game's going to be so hard to win as the last 5 minutes have been all FlyQuest all the time. Another engage looking. Pantheon coming over the top. Right above FBI. Easy kill picked up. And he burns a stopwatch. He's got reinforcements. Flashes back to the team. Doesn't matter. Turtle gets the kill anyway. Going to be forced to run. No more escape tools left on him. Finds a stun. Finds a heal. Shut down again. PoE. Killing spree.
Get out of there. FlyQuest is just smacking Golden Guardians down, coming from multiple angles. LeBlanc coming from one side, the bot lane charging him from the other, and Santorin with the Pantheon ultimate right over the top. They just erase them off of the map, and FlyQuest are looking so damn strong in this series. Full control, despite how bad that early game started. You know, Turtle died at level 1 for first blood on the Varus, gets dove at level 2. You would think that the game would be so in Golden Guardian's favor off of that, but FlyQuest has just battled their way back out of this position. And this one, again, it feels like a lot of it is about Power of Evil and Santorin. Coming from 3 different angles, they all collapse at the same time. FBI is just gone immediately, and then Golden Glue and Closer do come in trying to support, but the Syndra ultimate was already cast, who he gets knocked down, and then Golden Glue knows he has no way out, so he tries to turn around, but it's a clean 3-0 for FlyQuest, and they are monstrously ahead now, 7,000 plus the gold lead.
Well, looking like a pretty swift 3-0 then here. FlyQuest, as you mentioned, massively ahead. We got a Drake up in a minute, which doesn't mean too much, but they could stack it if they wanted to. Baron is alive. That might well be a target. It's 3-1 in turret score overall, and they're going to keep that map control. You can see mid's already been cleared. They're already attacking top lane with Power of Evil. You should feel very comfortable against Golden Glue. Poor Silas had to go for Merc Treads, only has 1 offensive item, and I don't think Power of Evil cares at all what he tries to throw at him. He's up so much in gold that he's up a full completed item himself. Jumps onto a ward, who he's nearby, but I mean, he's LeBlanc, right? Just jumps right back out. Very, very safe.
Yeah, there's not even the opportunity. Oh. That was pretty risky, but there's not even the opportunity to actually like life drain tank them or have this fight where you kind of just survive barely with all the self healing that, you know, Aatrox and Silas can pull off, even Olaf sometimes in those cases, because there's multiple healing debuffs already purchased, right? Executioners was grabbed early by Solo for the lane, Morello's already done by Power of Evil, so it's getting really scary, and for FBI, when you're this far behind, you know you need to be a big source of damage, so you want to complete the Rage Blade, but there's also 2 like full damage mages who have double spell pen on both of them. So if you don't build any MR, you could easily get one shot by the Syndra, one shot by the LeBlanc, and at the same time, now there's a lethality stacking Pantheon who could also one combo you. It just feels like you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if you go defensive, you can't cover all these options anyway, and if you go offensive, you're probably just going to get one hit.
Yep, and that sucks, but at least you have Braum in the way to maybe block the Syndra stuff. LeBlanc's going to reach you if she wants, honestly. She can bypass that, no problem, but, you know, at least you get a little bit there. I do want to give credit to Power People, by the way. In this game, he rushed Merlinamicon. He's against several self-healing champions. Actually, I should say basically everyone except Braum has significant self-healing either in their kit or in their item build. I'm glad to see the Grievous Wounds being rushed there, considering that in Game 1, he had actually rushed Void Staff when he didn't have to face that, so I really like seeing that. Good job there. And now we get to see FlyQuest continue their pressure. Top lane is under assault. You've got Ignar's Pike running through the jungle, make sure there's no wards. Santorin's done the same in the top half of this, and PoE is shoved in the top wave. And he's ready to go for some turret damage. 3v1, Golden Glue's here to defend.
Proto Belt there does help a lot with the wave clear, so he will be able to clear out most of the wave and probably stay safe, but we have Solo, who should be completing his Essence Reaver soon. Yeah, he actually has that buy right now, so he's on 40% CDR. That GP is really well and truly online, and kind of just sit here in the side lane, continue farming against Haunter, and every time his 4-man squad looks for a play, he has this 40 CDR ultimate to be able to throw in there and help things out. It's going to make it so difficult because FBI, you expect the ultimate to get dropped on his head, he's slowed down, and then you have, you know, the Pantheon ult coming over top, Pike looking for you, you know, LeBlanc diving in. There's so many ways for them to get back to the backline and take down FBI, who is going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting. But, you know, perhaps if they over-focus on him, that could open the door for Haunter, who has farmed well and does have, you know, 2.5 items to his name. So maybe something possible there. But, you know, FBI did decide he couldn't actually skip going in offensive items, so he has picked up the Hex Shrinker, which will delay that Rage Blade quite a bit.
I hope he can do some damage, but it is, well, time is kind of ticking down, it feels like. Not an obvious timer. I think 7.5 minutes to Ocean Soul is potentially something you might see in this game, but realistically, it's the fact that I think FlyQuest is going to start turning aggressive again fairly soon and not just wait to stack all the Drakes. And so Golden Guardians, a little bit nervous, a little bit back to their side of the map. You can see, like, look at just the icons. You can see where Golden Glue has to clear the minion wave way back on his side, right in front of tier 2. You can see where the Aatrox is sent. Haunter back by his Gromp camp right now. The Golden Guardians recalls, they actually feel a little unsafe prep their own Raptor camp. FlyQuest have just complete immunity to run wherever they want.
Yeah.
No issues whatsoever. And it's so constricting. I mean, look at that Fog of War. They've got nothing. And they've got an almost dead Olaf, who gets the ulti, barely gets the shield, nearly gets sniped. That was a close one. Can't for the knockdown of Wild Turtle. Solo on a battle with Hanser. Not sure Hanser's going to win that one. Golden Glue TP's in, goes to chase down the gangplank. So 3v4 on one side, 2v1 on the other. A flash gets him away, finds a barrel chain for a slow, and Solo ults down to get away. They spent a lot of cooldowns, all 5 ultis on Golden Guardians, and they got nothing to show for it.
Not able to get anything there, and so much of this has been about the vision control. There are 3 sweepers right now on FlyQuest, plus the Umbral Glaive there, to be able to actually sweep out with a lethality item on Pike rather, also. So it's just getting so difficult because all of these champions on FlyQuest want to play from Fog, look for picks, and I think their setup has been so smart as who you're going to have to flash out there too. When you have Pike, Syndra, LeBlanc, all of these champions, you don't need the wards as much as you need the vision denial, and they're focusing heavily on it.
Whew. Massive knockback. Golden Glue is in, finds 1 kill. Stopwatch might mean he has a second heal pretty soon. If he can get that in time, has to flash away. No root on the closer, he'll stay alive. So something on the board at least. And Hanser feels comfortable against Solo. The Q knockup, does he have flash for the third? He gets the stab in the back. 2 kills in for Golden Guardians. Maybe, just maybe, there's signs of life. Ignar has to flash away. And for now, it's 5v3 on the map with Baron on the field. You have to go for something big. This has to be a Baron rush for Golden Guardians.
Nicely done. That's 2 big shutdowns for them. To be able to actually get all that bonus gold is going to help move them a little bit closer. And it looks like maybe the decision is, hey, let's just try to actually get this dragon. Because they're not moving up towards the Baron. The dragon does spawn in 25. Solo will be up right as it's spawning, though, and does have TP. So Turtle already alive. He's moving out on the map. And it's not even guaranteed as Golden Guardians that you're going to get this for free. So they do get the 2 picks. And now maybe going to look for Pike.
Ignar has no flash, but he has enough movement speed to get away unless Golden Glue can chase it down. Vaguely aware of the situation, can't find that, but at least it does send the opposing support away. So maybe that was enough. Maybe it just barely gives Golden Guardians the breathing room to at least stack the 3rd Drake. And you think about that Drake that was stolen a while ago, right? The one that was stolen by the Syndra combo. If that wasn't stolen by Turtle, this was Ocean Soul claimed by Golden Guardians. That would have been the point that maybe turned the game around. Instead, it's still a 6,000 gold deficit. And yeah, in 5 minutes, they can look at Ocean Soul, but it feels like FlyQuest is still the more powerful team.
They are, I think, for now, but at least this is a way in, right? Because FlyQuest actually didn't decide to contest that. They did have TP, but they didn't have enough vision, so I think they weren't really willing to just walk straight in and have a fight. I talked about some of these champions, how they want to play for Fog, they want to look for picks, and, running straight into a Dragon Pit isn't obviously the way to get those types of setups, but this gives Golden Guardians an opportunity, right? This gives you a way to actually get back into this game. So those 2 picks have meant a lot. And despite the fact that they could have already had Soul had it not been for that earlier steal, they are still only 4 minutes away from a potential Ocean Soul, which can invalidate so much of that gold lead.
Alrighty, here we go. Back on the map, resets are in. Rageblade is done, so the sidestep that FBI took to grab Hex Drinker has been kind of compensated forward. He's on the 2 all-important Varus items. The on-hit build is online, and if he gets the time to hit frontline, he really will do a ton of damage. It really will be painful, but it's double flat pen plus death cap for Wild Turtle. He's got a lot of threat here as well. And Golden Guardians have to hope their front line is tanky enough to withstand this. They can't get rid of all the wards. They can't really claim control over the Baron Pit. And it means FlyQuest gets to walk right back in.
And the other thing is, there's not really any frontliner that's just going to stand there and let you audible to actually stack the Rage Blade and get the most out of lethal tempo. Because actually look over at the team. I mean, Santorin maybe, but GP's not just going to be standing there meleeing you. There's no tank, and Santorin really is your best hope because the rest of them are going to be dodging in and out. So I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for FBI to actually stack up that Rage Blade and really kind of get the most out of it in any sort of normal fight.
They're certainly going to try. Red buff's going to go over. That's going to feel pretty comfortable. And it will be on for what may be at least a Baron standoff. He won't keep that buff during the Drake spawn. That's going to be too far away for that, but it will be a nice bit of comfort for now. And if Golden Guardians really does think their scaling is better, if they really like late-game Sylas more than they like late-game LeBlanc, or they like Varus more than they like Syndra super down the line, maybe it can look good, and they're happy to play it slower and happy to look at another team fight in 2.5 minutes. They also might not realize they're down a full 7,000 gold. I don't think the game necessarily feels like that. as Ignar jumps over the wall and then goes quickly, gets rid of the ward.
I do think it just depends largely on how the game plays out, right? I think if you just kind of run the two comps at each other 5v5, Golden Guardians has the better team comp as far as that goes, but very clearly FlyQuest are not going to try to play that style. They're going to push out side lanes, they're going to deny vision, they're going to look for picks, and they're going to try to do this constantly. And that is where their team comp really excels. So it's kind of who can impose their will on the opposing team, right? Can Golden Guardians force FlyQuest to come to them and take these 5v5s? Or can FlyQuest manage to play scrappy enough and constantly force Golden Guardians to be responding to these waves and getting picked off in rotation?
Well, right now, the rotation to the top side worked really well for FlyQuest. They took 2 auto attacks, they knocked down that turret, they added some more gold to the coffers, and they kept the gold lead at 7k. But keep in mind, 100 seconds from Ocean Soul. To me, I will still take the 7,000 gold lead if comps are identical, but Ocean Soul certainly is a huge power spike, and it does close the gap a lot here, and Golden Guardians can feel more comfortable. They're able to fight over the top jungle at least a little bit. They're going to knock down a lot of these wards. Feel a bit more comfortable, at least as far as their ability to roam around the map. But there are still some aggressive wards from FlyQuest inside that Baron Pit. Those Golden Guardians have not cleared away, so they've really only reclaimed their jungle. They haven't reclaimed even neutral territory.
It's really, really difficult to do so, right? When there's these strong members on the opposing side, as Haunter will face check here. He's 7 levels up on Ignar. That is a pretty monumental advantage as far as experience does go. And it's going to be this fight around the ocean, right? And that is why FlyQuest are now here. They know they have to fight here in a minute, so they're trying to get vision now to deny that potential prevention of their setup. They've got to be able to poke over walls. They've got to be able to soften up Golden Guardians before the fight does break out, or it's going to look bad for them. And Haunter gets pulled in.
But he finds some damage into Ignar and actually forces the flash away from the FlyQuest support. 30 seconds till the Ocean Drake spawns. Golden Glue has a chance to go for resets. Ult comes in. Turtle should have to burn flash here, but how much time can he buy before it comes in? Half health on Huhi, half health on Closer. PoE right back over the wall. He's on a board, not sure he knows, might have seen it. Regardless, though, they are poised to fight for this Drake. Ocean region actually better on the FlyQuest side. PoE on the back. Oh! FBI, Ignar shuts him down. 1-for-0, Centaur to the front lines, and the stun comes over the top. Double kill for Ignar, and this might be all they needed. Golden Glue cannot find the stun, he cannot find the way out. A stopwatch is burned, Huhi is running for dear life. There's the 3rd kill picked up for Wild Turtle. Kill number 4 goes to Power of Evil, and Haunter just has to run away. The hopes and dreams shattering in front of him. The Golden Guardian season all but over.
What a flank from Power of Evil. What a series from Power of Evil. He just jumps over the wall, knocks FBI to almost no health, and it looked like FBI got hooked by Ignar, I do believe, right at the same time. So he gets comboed by LeBlanc, hooked in, and ulted out. FBI died from full almost instantly there through that Moss shield. He is just gone, and what looked like a pretty good start to the fight from Golden Guardians. I mean, if they could actually get that front-to-back team fight, they would have been in an okay spot, but FlyQuest finds the angle despite being down the flash from Turtle to start it off and are able to wipe Golden Guardians off the map. Now having that Baron buff again, it's starting to feel very much like that last game. They are on Soul Point. They have side lane advantage with that Baron buff and continue to look to extend this gold lead.
There you go, 66.6 thousand gold. FlyQuest devilishly close here to closing out this series. You have to believe it's got to be over on this one. I don't think they have to wait for Ocean Soul. I don't think they have to wait for anything else. I think they are so far ahead. A simple push will do it. Gonna, play the waves correctly. PoE goes for some chunks on Golden Glue. The problem is, though, that this LeBlanc is out of mana. He's probably going to have to take the recall. They're going to have to buy that extra 1 minute at a time before you can actually really fight for this one. Ignar can spot people, but can't go for a fight.
And he's able to buy a full Void Staff on that recall. Or maybe even, did he have the Void Staff already and just get a Death Cap? Either way, I mean, PoE is full build now. His 18 stacks on the Magi's plus the Death Cap. Turtle really, really big here also. And also look at Gangplank kind of quietly scaling up on 4 items, really, really expensive ones too in the build. So FlyQuest is fully online as far as the item builds do go. They are looking really, really good. They have the GA on Ignar for this coming fight, so they could even look to dive deep into that back line and trade him out for a potential kill. But Power of Evil basically already has this inhibitor dead, and the Baron power play just feels like it's starting.
It's just beginning. Still a minute and a half left on that one. Bottom inhibitor is gone. Mid and top inhibitor turrets are attackable, but a hard engage towards Turtle. Flashless Syndra is one of the few targets they have. There's not a lot of good ones, but that was one of them. It buys a little bit of time, buys a little bit of gold. However, FlyQuest still feel pretty poised to keep pushing. It's 4v5, sure, but they're up 14,000 gold and a Baron buff. They get top lane inhibitor turret now as well, and curious if they will stay for the next minute or if they will eventually take the reset. For now, mid is under attack. The engage tools for Golden Glue. He finds the stun. They find the chance to go in, but they won't get any more. It's an easy disengage. Ignar goes over the wall.
Power of Evil just does so much damage with all this AP to those towers. It feels like each auto is about 20% of a tower's health. So he is just blasting through these, able to just sort of the wall, get an auto down here or there. Hunts are looking for an angle, but not quite able to find it. And they know with FBI not having ultimate, there's not really any threat of a hard engage coming out from Golden Guardians. So as long as these champions maintain, some dash, if Ignar holds onto his jump, if Power of Evil holds on to the ultimate to dash away, there's not really any way for them to get punished.
And FlyQuest managed to knock down 2 more turrets in a pure 4v5 where Turtle died before their very eyes. 15 seconds left for the Baron buff. The Syndra running across the map. Ignar going to try his best. He does not have flash, and he does not have much of a health bar left. Half HP left on him as more poke comes down for the FlyQuest side. They got Syndra up towards the top. She's going to go for the scuttle, looks like, and they will reconvene shortly. The Baron buff has ended. The power play, massive though, all things considered. A 1,500 gold lead, sorry, 15,000 gold lead. Nearly insurmountable here.
Yeah, I mean, there's 1 minute on Soul, so the game at least didn't end just yet. Golden Guardians, it's time to pray. I mean, your base is wide open, so yes, you can get backdoor, but you have to hard commit to the Soul. You have to basically go there, rush it, hope you don't get backdoored, hope you somehow don't lose the team fight, and you also win this fight on the Dragon. And then maybe you can hold on at your Nexus for the next while until you can kind of close the gap, but it is looking like an extremely long shot because I don't really see how they can get out of their base without getting picked off. Ignar and the rest of the squad are just denying so much of vision, still on this triple sweeper setup with the Umbral Glaive added in there. Also, they have double GA now as Santorin has completed his. So the next team fight, it's almost like a 7v5. You can just throw these guys in there. And look at Ignar going for the backdoor action here. No one's even answering him. Golden Guardians are a little bit paralyzed. They want to try to go and engage on the other side, but I don't even know if they can get in range to do so. So they're just going to give up the inhib straight up and look to try to make a fight happen here in mid lane.
I think it's the best option. Give up the inhib. Try to fight a 5v4. They have to go forward. This Drake spawns in 3 seconds. Golden Guardians don't have a choice but to go for broke here. And even then, it is probably going to break them. Drake has been started. Either team kills it. That is going to be Ocean Soul. It's going to be massive regen. FlyQuest can always wait to push down mid as well. They're going to go for the play first. So Ignar is already in range. Over the top comes Pantheon. Here comes the engage. Solo flash to the side. Golden Glue finds him. Looks for the kill. Can't get it just yet. Huey exhausted, but he has burned down Huey. 1 for 0 so far. The chase down. It's another 1 for 1 so far. Guardian Angel now forced out of the top lane. Golden Guardians will hope to find something else, but Golden Glue running low on HP finds some damage, but his health bar is so dangerously low. FBI and Closer now forced to run away. There's only 3 left alive, but there's still 4 for FlyQuest. In goes Santorin, picks up 1, looks for number 2, finds it. That's going to be nearly the ace. Only Hanser is left, and the base is absolutely gonna drop. FlyQuest gonna take the 3-0 win and advance to the next round of playoffs. Golden Guardian season has ended. We will see them in the summer, but FlyQuest cement themselves as the better team. The 3-0 victory in the postseason. Pad the stats one more time. Hanser drops down for the Bud Light ace, and Nexus falls for a 3-0 victory to FlyQuest.
Such a good series here from FlyQuest, and no doubt